Hilda and I both were raised in Atlanta, Georgia, and did not know each other at the time. She was named Miss Atlanta, and that was in the summer of '39, I believe, 1939. And then she went on to and was named Miss United States in Virginia. She was invited to come to Florence, South Carolina, where I was working at the time, and the JCs, in conjunction with Melvin Purvis, who owned the local newspaper and was, if you remember, was credited with the capture of Dillinger, and he had a local newspaper. He had retired from the FBI. They invited Hilda down for a celebration and whatnot. Anyway, when she got off the train and stepped down from the train, I turned to my buddy, and I was so impressed, I said, "I'm going to marry that girl." And a year later, I did. In Atlanta, we got married in Atlanta. We've had a very fine relationship, and as I said, we've been married for 68 years. We've been partners in all of the business. She's got a good business head on. She's the one that came up with the idea of building the condominiums to start with. And she's been involved in the interior decorating of the lobbies and some of the apartments and most every building that we built. Hilda and I used to come over. We lived in Gainesville, Florida, and we came over every summer, brought our children, and stayed 2 or 3 weeks. And we enjoyed it so very much, and we found, too, that we were healthier after staying here every summer. So Hilda came up with a suggestion. She said, "Ed, why don't we build a 6-unit condominium and sell 5 of them to our friends in Gainesville that also love Daytona Beach, and keep one for ourselves." We ended up finding a 300-foot direct oceanfront lot on South Atlantic Avenue and DeMott Avenue in Daytona Beach Shores. And we purchased that land. It was 300 feet at $400 a linear foot, which means that it cost us $120,000. And we proceeded to get an architect working on plans and thinking that we were going to build 6 units, but we soon found that that was too much invested, too much land for 6 units. So we ended up building a 7-story building that had 60 units plus a manager's apartment, and we called it the Surfside Club. That was the first real estate development of any building that we'd experienced. We were pioneering, and 14 have been developed in Daytona Beach Shores, and that's the Seychelles, the Shores Club, the Blue Surf, the Ocean Terrace Club, the Ashley, the White Surf, Surfside, the Grand Coquina, and then on up further north we built the Peck Plaza and the Sandpoint, the 2626, the Sherwin, the Peninsula, and finally the last one north is the Caribbean. We purchased the Peck Plaza site from Jim Bazemore and Les Main and 3 other people. I don't remember their names. We had to go before what was then known as the South Peninsula Zoning Board and get a permit. I was quite concerned that there was going to be a height limit placed, and I knew that we had plans drawn for 29 stories, and so I rushed the foundation in order to get ahead of any zoning. And fortunately we did, because about 2 months after we started the foundation, they put a height limit, I think, of 7 stories. So we just did get under the wire. It was very interesting construction. It took 50 concrete trucks running continuously for 24 hours to build a foundation to take care of a 29-story building. And it has become a landmark for this area. All of our projects have been family projects, more or less. We brought Cherry, our daughter, and her husband Terry over from Gainesville, and they worked in the real estate sales and the development phase of it. Edwin Jr. did become a general contractor and has built the majority of the units that we built since that time. And I'm glad to say that all of our family are still right here in Daytona Beach shores, with the exception of one grandson and his family, but all the rest are here, and this is, as far as I'm concerned, is our greatest accomplishment, is having a family involved and living so close. I was a JC, and we drew lots to see who would escort her, who would do this, who would do that. I ended up as in charge of her baggage. So when, as she says, and you've been buying it ever since.